Hey, I'm Rachel J, and we're out in the garden today. I'm showing you what's coming up in April in Zone 5B, and it's beautiful flowers right now, and also some interesting things have happened with having such a warm year. So I'll share with you some of the insights I'm getting in my tiny microcosm of a garden, and hopefully you just enjoy some pretty beautiful flowers as well. My raspberry leaves are coming in, and it is almost time to start picking them for tea, and it looks like we're going to have a very good harvest this year. You all have just seen the blueberries and the fruit trees, so this is really the time of year you start getting excited because everything is coming in. All of the onions are coming up. I have 2 beds of onions, and these are looking really strong and really good. I think I did pretty well on the spacing. We do have a lot of squirrels and things that will come and move things around for me, especially the garlic. So sometimes it's a little off, but it's looking really amazing. And these came up earlier than they should have this year because it has been so warm. We're having what we call up north second winter, so we've had some snow in April and cold temps, but they still look like they're very happy, so I'm feeling good about that. All of my comfrey is growing in all of the beds and in the permaculture area where I have comfrey, and it is loving the weather as well. And this is something that I don't eat, but I do like it for the nutrients it adds back to the soil, and I still have some of these beds closed down so we don't get weeds. This is the part I'm finding most interesting, is how much garlic is coming up, and some of them are too close together, which is, if you guys remember last year, not how we planted these. Some of them are still spread out nicely, but I believe this is partially due to squirrels and partially due to, you can see how this side of the bed kind of eroded and washed this way, some really extreme storms that we've had this year. Instead of snow, we had a lot more extreme weather that we normally wouldn't have, so we'll have to start thinning these out in order to get good bulbs, but everything did come up in both beds. Something else to note about the garlic and the onions that I found extremely interesting this year is you saw how tall everything is in April. It all came up about a month earlier than usual. So I'm going to have a very early harvest if it survives all of the temps we're going to get coming up in April. And it's growing, it's twice as high as it should be. So I think those are kind of just a small way I'm seeing climate change effects in my own little garden. This is my 3rd or 4th year growing garlic, so I haven't been doing it that long, but I'm still seeing the effects over time with the temperature changes. I have some baby calendulas coming up here. They reseed themselves. I have so many seeds from these, but I don't have to reseed them because they do really well. But the most surprising thing I found this year, and maybe you guys won't find it this interesting, but I'm just thrilled about it and also kind of shocked, is a lot of herbs that in Zone 5B are not perennials, meaning they can't come up every year. You have to reseed them because it's just too cold, are coming up on their own for the first time in 10 plus years I've had this garden. This one is what I'm most excited about. I am having parsley not just coming back, but growing up really well and in early spring. This might not survive any cold snaps that we get, we'll see, but it absolutely should not have survived the winter, which is blowing my mind, but also really exciting because parsley is pretty much one of my favorite herbs. I love to include it. As you guys know, I have a video on how to dry it and save it all winter, and I absolutely love to eat it in salads. I'm very excited for my parsley to be coming up. The swallowtail butterflies love it as well, and it should absolutely not be possible that this is regrowing without any cover, any compost, no protection in winter in north of Chicago. So it's very interesting this year to just see in my tiny garden how much climate is being affected, and it can only mean more drastic things. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. Have you noticed anything like this happening in your garden? How are you going to address things that maybe won't grow now or will grow more than you had before? And I'm very curious to see if everyone else is having something like this come up. So that is a mini tour of what's coming up in my garden in April of this year. It is very different than any other year I've had, so I'm very excited to see what happens. Let me know what you guys are seeing and what you'd like to see in the garden this year, and I'll see you next time.